And welcome to Williams Island TV. Today we have a great show because I've asked Bryan Pegues, the city manager of Aventura, to come on. We've had so many questions asked regarding traffic, what's happening with zoning, the homes that are being built, community, a lot about safety, security. And I asked Bryan to come on, so we'll be meeting with him shortly. And then Arlene will be with us because she heads up communication. And we're also having some people that are concerned they don't know when things are happening. So she's going to try to explain to you all of what's going on the island and how you can find out and be more up to date with everything. So with that, I'd like to bring back in a few minutes Mr. Bryan Pegues, the city manager, and we'll start the show. And we want to welcome you today to Williams Island TV. Over the course of a year, we get so many questions, especially this time of the year, about what's going on in the city with traffic, with congestion, with construction, with zoning. Why does the city allow this? I thought the best person to answer all of these questions, discuss it, is Bryan Pegues, the city manager of Aventura, the big boss. A little history of our relationship. I was commissioner for many years. And during my tenure as commissioner, at the beginning stages, I believe Bryan was the assistant police chief under Chief Steinberg, I believe it was. Then he became the chief of police. Then he became the assistant city manager. And now he's the city manager. So this is quite a career path in just the short time that I've been there. And what you've done is truly amazing. He's a gentleman. I wouldn't want to fool around with him in a fight. I wouldn't want to have him go after me as a police officer. And we are really blessed to have him as a city manager of this city. And as you see in the city going on now, how wonderful everything is. So, Bryan, I want to welcome you.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words.
Oh, no, it's true. It's true. We're blessed to have you in the city. And what you've accomplished, what your whole team has accomplished is amazing. And it's a very interesting, quick story because when Bryan was the assistant city manager, actually before he became the assistant, he was police chief. And the present day police chief, Mike Bentelia, wanted to move up in his career and was looking to get a job elsewhere. And we talked to him and I said, don't do anything yet. There's no formal announcement. We can't tell you, but just stay where you are for a couple more weeks. I'm sure you remember that,
right?
Because he was applying for a job at Bell Harbor, I believe it was. As it turned out, Mike is now the police chief. But it's just interesting how the progression of everyone's just took place. But one of the biggest questions we have is traffic. And traffic is caused, obviously, by population. So if we go back to the reason for the population, it's zoning.
Right.
And I guess one of the things people don't understand in the city is the city of Aventura doesn't give the people zoning. That came from the county. The density came from the county. Years ago when the city became Aventura, whatever was there, the people had a chance who owned the land to be grandfathered in. All we can do is aesthetics, make sure they comply with code, etc. But what do you find the biggest problem is with congestion? Is there any solution? Is anything that's being thought about at the city level?
Yeah. So a number of things, and I'll get into the traffic thing, and also with the zoning rights and the density. So there is a zoning map that's in place, like you mentioned, especially when Aventura incorporated as a city. There was certain developments here that had entitlements and zoning. Actually, the zoning at that time, prior to Aventura incorporating, was more dense than what we currently allow. So a lot of these buildings, that some of the older buildings that you see, particularly along 183rd to 185th Street, and along Biscayne Boulevard there, or just east of Biscayne Boulevard, have significant higher densities than what would be allowed today. We've been sensitive to that, and we've created a comprehensive plan and a zoning map where density is concentrated in certain areas to alleviate and to keep that lifestyle. We have a lot of open space requirements too. So if you're putting up, depending where you're building now, and you're putting up a building as opposed to what the county has, we have significant open space requirements. And what that means, you can't put a building that's going to take up the entire lot.
So they have setbacks.
Yeah, typically 40% open space that you have to have in green space on these. So that's why you see if you look along Country Club Drive, a lot of those buildings were built when Aventura was incorporated. As you see, there's a lot of space between them. There's a lot of open space. It's in that it's good planning. It also limits density. Now, getting back to traffic, traffic has always been an issue. I've been here, and you had mentioned, my career path here through the city. I've been here since '97. I feel like I've grown up in this community.
You have.
And I've seen the changes and seen how it's progressed and where we're at now. There's such a demand for people to move here. And I think you see it on the island with younger families, younger demographics.
Well, the schools have done so much to do that.
Yeah, and I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
During this, but so traffic is an issue. A couple things to that, and it's not going to be doom and gloom, but I'm going to give you a light at the end of the tunnel where I think we'll have some relief in the near future. Is a lot of the traffic, and you'll look across just west of us, West Dixie Highway, okay, Miami Gardens Drive. A lot of these buildings that are going up right now, we have no control over those.
That's part of the transit zone they instituted or something?
Yeah, particularly so. Miami-Dade County has along the rail corridor, and what they've imposed is called an RTZ zone. It's a rapid transit zone. So usually within half a mile of the tracks, developers can get added density and bonuses, particularly a reduction in parking requirements, which gives them it allows them to put more building and less parking.
Right.
So you see a lot of that development over there, and that contributes to a lot of the congestion that's coming here into Aventura. Part of the problem that we faced is, and this is, I won't say it's unique to Dade County, but it's not something that's commonplace throughout the country. Is right now our traffic lights, right? So you would think that in a city, we have our traffic intersections and our traffic lights. We know what's best, at the peak times when there's congestion, when, hey, this light needs to be 5 seconds longer, this one needs to be 10 seconds longer. Most cities should have the ability to program that or to have that type of control, which would help. Here in Dade County, that's not the case. Miami-Dade County controls all of the traffic lights throughout Miami-Dade County and all the municipalities. All right, so we can petition them, for changes and some different things, but ultimately they have the control over that. And then part of the problem is, and even if we put officers in certain times, like we do this during the holiday times at the mall, we'll have the officers that take the lights offline to help alleviate the traffic. But even if we did, like Miami Gardens Drive is always
The worst.
Is the worst. It's not just Miami Gardens Drive. It's really a system or a chain of events that contributes to that. And it's along Miami Gardens Drive. You have West Dixie Highway all the way to 19th Avenue.
I know.
And if you don't control all of those lights or sync them up correctly, it's not going to alleviate it. And we don't have the control over that. Now, the light at the end of the tunnel is we've been looking at technology, particularly, and this is done in Israel now. They have a lot more control over in their cities. They have smart cities. And the county is exploring this as well too, is having smart AI technology embedded in the intersections. That's coming, and that's going to be the future. Now, the benefit of that is, so you have, it's one thing you control the lights at Biscayne Boulevard at one intersection, and you extend it, but then it
Backs up the next.
It backs up the next one. The smart technology, when you have that embedded throughout the entire system, it's going to talk to each other. It's able to see what's backed up, peak times, extending and doing certain things. So it's really going to provide some additional relief for us. And we're actively and aggressively pursuing that. We've been in talks with the county. They have a new director over there at the Department of Transportation for the Miami-Dade County. And we're trying to get this technology as quickly as possible for Aventura.
Boy, that'd be great. You talk about traffic as a problem, but I go to Pinecrest. My daughter lives down there. It's no better there. It's no better in South Miami. It's just all over. But talking about the positives of where we live, I mean, the school system. I mean, one of the factors, I know you were getting a new school next to Sulphur High. Correct. And the vision and the insight to do all these things has been amazing. But the byproduct of that has been more important to me that I've seen is the age of the people moving into Aventura. I see it here on the island. We have 450 children living on this island now, which is amazing. Our average age has dropped 10 years. And it's because kids can come to the city, start school in kindergarten, so to speak, go right through to high school in top-rated, A-rated charter schools for free. I mean, what city can offer that? And the new school that you're doing is going to eliminate almost 1,100 people on the waiting list.
Yeah, it's really great times and great things ahead. And I don't think that, I mean, the parents know this of the young children, but for our school system right now, we have over 1,500 children on the wait list just to get
Amazing.
into ACEs.
Is that amazing?
So, the demand is incredible. And since we've had ACEs, it's been an A-rated school since
Correct.
it started. And Don Sofer High School, since it's opened its doors, has been an A-rated school, both of them. And we really, and the commission has been committed as the governing board of both schools, and you know this, and
Yes.
serving in that capacity, has been committed to providing top quality education to our community. So you're really getting almost a private school education
Mm-hmm.
here in the city for free. We're a victim of our own success. I mean, the demand.
Now, tell me, the new school that's going up next to Sofer, because you're going to redefine some of the grades in the schools, aren't you?
Correct. So what is going to happen is we are going to be building a new Don Sofer High School. It's going to have increased capacity, over 1,000 kids will be able to attend that.
And that'll be north of the existing one.
Correct. It is just just west of the existing high school.
Oh, okay.
We were able to acquire 3.7 acres of land. We have an architect that we've selected and a builder. They're in the design phase right now of the school. And the existing high school will then become a middle school. So we will have 3 campuses. ACES will become a K through 4, K through 5 model. Don Sofer High School will become the middle school, and then the new high school will be the high
So
school.
that should eliminate a lot of the waiting list.
We hope that it will eliminate the vast majority of the waiting list.
Not
yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
But well, you know, we were very fortunate because I know during the tenure when I was there, and we were talking about buying land to build Sofa High, et cetera, we had some great people on the committee. I mean, Enid Weissman, our mayor, was so involved with education. Her tenure into education was a name. And then we had Dr. Marks, who was a school board chair from Chicago. So we had some great educators. But the whole commission, even now, is so, as you said, is so dedicated to the excellence of education. Yeah. And I remember those endless meetings we used to have talking about the details of everything in the schools. But look what the result is.
Yeah.
Look what the result is. I mean, you inherited something that is truly amazing.
I couldn't agree with you more.
So what do you do with, has crime, I know the crime around the country, you know, unfortunately, there's some crazy times. Do you experience any of that here?
So yeah, so there's crime everywhere. I know people move to Aventura for a number of reasons. Obviously, it's beautiful, low crime, our parks, our amenities, and our schools. Right. We've always prided ourselves on low crime, and that was actually when the city incorporated in '95. The first order of business was establishing a police department.
Yeah.
If I could go into
Please.
a brief history.
No, absolutely.
Back in '95, the police department started in February of '97. In between that time, we had our police department now is almost 100 officers, sworn officers. That doesn't include civilian personnel.
But that's a lot of people for the city.
A lot of people, 3.2 square miles.
Yeah.
At that time, Miami-Dade County was responsible for patrolling the city of Aventura. You would be lucky at any given time that you would have one officer assigned, not only just here for Aventura, but for here, Aventura and Sunny Isles. So you can imagine, the residents here at that time, you would call 911, I mean, for a property crime or whatever it may be. And, you'd lucky if they showed up within 24 hours to do it. So that was the first order of business. The level of service when we came in here was to prevent crime, to reduce crime, which we did significantly over the years. And we've continued to do that. Our police department we've been nationally accredited for 25 years. We just went through another reaccreditation process, which is 8 year. So it's our 8th reaccreditation. I don't know. There's not many organizations in the nation that have done it for so long and so well. They're committed to preventing crime. Some of the things that, just so you know, is particularly in this community, almost all of our detectives are sworn as federal agents as well.
Really?
We have detectives that are assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force. We have officers that are in Fraud Task Force. Now, getting to crime. So here in Aventura, what we see particularly with the mall is really the number one crime are fraud-related crimes, right? So, people victimizing with your credit cards, checking, banking, those type of things. In the way it typically works jurisdiction with local police departments is detectives are limited jurisdiction-wise. So, for example, somebody steals your credit card, they're not necessarily just going to go shopping in Aventura. They may go to Palm Beach County. Sometimes they go up to New York City. They go wherever, or, we're limited in our jurisdiction of what we can investigate. Now, the reason I said we're sworn as federal officers as well, we work with federal task forces, is no longer, if you're the victim here in Aventura, we are going to pursue that suspect wherever they may be.
Oh, so that's the difference.
So now we have the ability. So if they use it out of Florida or different counties or different things, we have the ability to charge that individual once we catch them for all of those crimes where we wouldn't be before. It also gives us the ability, subpoena power and different things like that. And some of these groups are very organized. If you remember recently during COVID and prior to that, there was a big scam going on with tax returns, right? And then during COVID, you had
horrible
organized groups that were defrauding the government and different people using their aliases. We're able to charge them federally in a lot of these cases
because it's state line.
Correct, and those penalties are severe and significant. So the criminals know that here in Aventura we have that ability. Don't victimize our residents and don't do that. And we're committed to, that's our priority is the safety of our community. And our police department does a fantastic job.
Oh, there's no question about it. They stopped me.
Yeah.
But it's a very funny story what happened with me. My car was stolen. And for some reason, the Department of Motor Vehicles allowed me to get the same plate.
Oh, okay.
And the insurance company replaced me with the same car. So I'm driving down, twice happened. I'm driving down Biscayne right in front of Best Buy area. And the Hollywood police pulled me over. 4 cars surround me. They come with guns, tasers. I had to put my hands out of my car before I got out because it was the exact car, the same license plate. I guess it hit one of the readers along the way. Anyway, it got straightened out. About 3 days later, I'm at home. It's a knock on the door, and I look out the door, and I see 3 Aventura police cars and about 5 guys on my front door.
Oh, no.
And they said, they didn't have the guns out. And they said, you're driving a stolen car, blah, 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 blah. And I had to explain the whole story. But the reason I bring it up is not because it happened to me, but there must be a network of license plate readers of some sort that do this, because they must have recognized the car driving in the area and know where to come to me.
Sure. Yeah, the license plate readers, this technology has been around for some time now, but it's an incredible technology too, because particularly if there's a person that's, wanted for a violent crime or whatever, and they go through a certain area, it triggers the license plate reader.
Right.
It alerts our police officers that this vehicle is in the area. So we've been able to prevent a significant amount of crime.
I was going to say, that's a great preventative.
Yeah.
We are contemplating, we work great with the city, the island, because we have 5,000 people here. We're contemplating, and we've been talking to a security company who does Aventura, Turnberry Synagogue, whatever, to bring in additional security. Not because we've had any issues, not because we've had any threats, but sometimes being proactive. Do you find that that's a help in a community like this if we were to have, because we would have them placed or just patrolling, but they'd be armed. We wouldn't let our people armed. These are specialty people that are trained for this. But do you think that interferes with what happens with the city security, or is it an addition to?
I think it's an addition to. We've here with other communities that have their own security, or religious facilities that have their own security, we establish very good relationships, with those security elements. And in fact, we do a lot of training as well together, with our police department, because it's good for our police department, obviously, that they security knows what to
Yeah.
expect,
Yeah.
in an emergency. I will say, as an added layer, that having your own internal security is a benefit. Whether it's your own internal security, hiring off-duty officers, there's different pathways of doing that, but it's extremely important because God forbid, especially in this climate and
Well,
day and
that's why
age,
we're taking. Yeah.
if if God forbid is somebody's going to do harm or do something, these things happen very quickly, very quickly. Even if you call 911, right? And here at
Couldn't be here.
Aventura,
Yeah.
our response time is typically excellent. But you could imagine, you can sit here and count down right now. But let's say you call 911 and it takes a minute and a half for somebody to get there. I mean, just sit here and count a minute and a half
A
before
lot can happen
a
in a
lot
minute
can
and a
happen
half.
in
Of
that
course.
time. Having well-trained security, that has a relationship with the local police department I think is smart.
Well, I think you know them. They do Aventura Turnberry.
Yeah.
It's a separate company. We don't want it ourselves. And we don't want our guys. We have about 120 security guards on the island, full time. Various buildings, patrolling, the gates, whatever, which is a lot. We are also installing, and it's an amazing program, we're putting in a totally automated but AI-driven camera system, which has face recognition, it has license plate recognition, and speed. And we're doing it because obviously with all the kids on the property, people still speed. They go through stop signs, they crosswalk, walk, whatever. And we felt that was, something that's really going to be a deterrent. In talking to this new security company, though, they don't think you need more than a couple of people because the presence is more of a deterrent than what they're actually going to do. Please God, they'll never have to do anything.
Right.
But what they do is they incorporate the camera system and a drone, because their drone their drone system is the equivalent of having 5 guys on the island because they're constantly flying around. And I'm saying to myself, the technology today is amazing what goes on for security reasons. And so we're really looking into it, not because like I said, we haven't had any threats, thank God, we haven't had any problems. But in this world, you don't know when it's going to happen. And, we're sitting here, it's predominantly, well, not predominantly, but probably 50% a Jewish community. We have a synagogue on the property. We have all these kids playing. We have all the playgrounds and facilities. It only takes one character. So that's why we've been thinking about it. We're looking into it very seriously now. And he had told us they work very well with the city police and they coordinated. Because security today is one of the biggest issues we hear.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the mall, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Very well said. It is. I mean, we have, we've had a very close relationship with them all over the years. And we provide, they have their own security, but we provide, additional coverage over there as well. We have an agreement with them. So, and you're right. It's having that presence,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
where where the public comes around and they see whether it's security, whether it's police officers around every corner over at the mall. It does establish a presence, and it's a big deterrent over there at the mall. And I want to say that over the years, 20 plus years that we've been doing that, I've been very fortunate to have a very safe mall with
Very,
very low crime.
considering
Yeah.
the population. And just one last thing, because, people, when they move here, they say, what's the financial situation of the city? Is it in good standard, whatever? And I've always been involved with the, investment strategies of the city, and I've been a commissioner. But I can tell you that the leadership that you've shown in terms of maintaining budgets, we have an amazing, in our city, tremendous reserves put away. We have them invested very safely. I don't think there's been a tax increase in the city, and God knows, I can't
Never.
remember ever,
Yeah.
ever, which is unheard of in a city. And that's a tribute to what you do and how you run your city, because not many cities have ever had a budget situation where they not only have a surplus, but we have reserves and no tax increases. And not one commissioner in all the years of it has ever been arrested, accused of a crime, which is even more amazing.
Yeah,
But I don't think people understand the difference. We are a city manager run city, not a commission run city.
correct.
And because of it, it takes a lot of that onus, so to speak, off the commissioners, and it gives you a chance to run the city. So as much as and we have a great commission, and we have a great mayor and such, and no question about it, they're all dear friends of mine, but you still run the city. And how many employees do you have in the city?
So total, including the police department and civilians, we're just under 200. But we've here in the city, the model is we outsource a lot of services, right? Whereas other cities have employees that provide those services. We've been very good at doing that. And the manager and the commission relationship is a partnership. We have an amazing commission that they get along. Everybody on that commission wants to do what's best for the city. We're bringing additional schools, to get children off the wait list. We have our millage rate has remained the same since day one. Has not been raised. We're building another school, not having to do so. And like you said, we've invested very, very smartly, and we have a significant amount of reserves. And that's just been our model, and been fiscally responsible. We have an incredible finance team, finance director, and investment strategy and investment manager. And we're just fortunate and blessed in this community to be able to do that. And we're going to continue to provide those services, keep taxes low, and top quality services to our residents. And that's what we're here for, and that's what this community deserves.
And for 20 years, you've been doing it. And you've been here the whole time.
Been here the whole time.
Well, I want to thank you for being with us today. Really, it's truly a pleasure to have you, because people ask us the questions, but it's so great hearing it from you and seeing the person behind it all, because you do have a job to run. And especially in the environment of this world today, obviously security in your offices have to be a little bit more alert and more trained and whatever. But Bryan, I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Bob.
What you do to the city, and we look forward to it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, are you kidding? It's our pleasure. Anytime. And we'll be right back. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed. It was a pleasure having Bryan with us, city manager. It's great to hear from him firsthand what is going on in the city, how well things are run, security, and unfortunately the traffic. But from what he tells us, there's great future for it, and it looks like it could be alleviated in the short future. But most of what goes on, if not everything that goes on the island, has to be coordinated amongst 300 employees and 5,000 people. And that is not an easy job. But Arlene, who also produces this whole TV program, is responsible for all of that. Good, bad, whatever. She writes it. She makes sure her staff promotes it. And yet we still always get people that say, I didn't know.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I wonder if they just didn't hear about it. They say that just because they didn't go, and someone said, why weren't you there? And they're embarrassed to say I didn't want to go. But tell me, what is your biggest problem with communicating and getting people to know what goes on? Because by the way, just before you answer this, last year we had 259 events on this island, which is amazing when you consider it, not counting holidays. And we've already had, for the month of January, which is over, an event every single day.
It's
so how do you coordinate this and get this all out to everybody?
Well, what we're asking the community to do is be a little bit more proactive in looking at our calendar, looking at the email, because we can only do so much to get it to you, right? We give it to the building concierges, we give it to the managers, we put it up on digital signage, we have the email, we have our WhatsApp groups. But if you're not engaged in looking for, whatever event, you might be looking for a family event, you might be looking for like a C&E event, it's all on our event calendar. You can even search depending on what kind of event you're looking for. If you're looking for just a family event, you can filter it to just show family events. So what I'm asking the membership and the residents here to do is join our WhatsApp groups. Read your Monday email, because the Monday email is packed with everything that's going on.
Now, let me ask you something. I just found out that there's an app that I now have on my phone, and it's part of the Williams Island, and it goes to my WhatsApp, and I'm notified of all these different events that are going on a daily. So that's what that is.
Yes.
I think we should send out something, because I didn't even know we had. It's wonderful. Every day I get notices of all these events going on here.
We have that on our digital signage. We have flyers with that information at the building concierges. We also put it in every single Monday email. The best way we've gotten people to join is the Monday email and word of mouth, right? So we tell people, oh, you haven't heard of it? Have you joined our WhatsApp groups? Oh, you want to reserve for this one? Why don't you join our WhatsApp groups to, learn about our next one? So we're trying to get the information out there, but we need the proactiveness of our membership to call me. I'm here every day, 9 to 4. They can email me or call me, and I can tell them every single way they can find out information about our events.
Great.
Or anything that's going on the island. Such like our sports court that opened up. We're gonna be having a what do they call it? A kayak lift that's going to be installed and being going to be open and available soon. So we have a lot of things, and if last year was something, the events were so we had so many events. This year is going to be out of the box.
I know,
It's
I
going to
heard.
be it's going to be amazing.
I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't know how you do it.
So if you like your information like at the palm of your hand right away, the WhatsApp groups is the way to go.
And I have it, and I must tell you, it's amazing.
Yes.
It really is.
You can just email me. I can send you the links, and you can even join the groups that you're most interested in.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So yeah,
Right.
if you're interested in just tennis and pickleball,
Yep.
by all means, just do the tennis group. If you want the spa, you can do the spa group or the family group. So they're broken down into different groups, and you can join whichever one you're most interested in. So by all means, email me or call me, and I can send you the links to join. And if you like to take your time and read about it, our Monday email is definitely the way to go. It has what is going on at the top. It has what's going on in the next week. But if you scroll down, it has all the save dates, 2 or 3 months out. So you can check out, I'm not interested in this week, but let's see what's going on next week and next month. So there's the information's always out there. And also, if you have any questions regarding the events, you can give me a call, and I can if I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer for you.
You'll find it. You usually know the answer. Arlene pretty much knows it all. She doesn't tell us everything, but she knows it all. But and I said this at the board meeting. We have 5,000 people living here. We have 300 employees. We have a $60 million budget. We have events almost every single day of the year. And it's almost like you go to a Broadway show. You sit down, the curtain goes up, the show's amazing, you see everything, and you don't think about what it took to get that presentation on. And then that's what it is here. It's almost like every single day is opening night of Broadway show on Williams Island. And it may sound corny, but it's true. You get up in the morning and there's something new to do. There's something to go to. We have 4 food outlets and pools and tennis courts and spas and restaurants. It's truly amazing. And you get to communicate all of this.
Yes.
Little you.
And we got such a great team, though.
You do.
I have a great team in my department, but also, all of us kind of work together and, get the job done. We're the backstage.
And I have
The
to tell
backstage
you,
of
you
the
walk
board.
around the island, our staff, we do have an exceptional staff. We have amazing, and we have a great board of directors who supports it, which is
Absolutely.
very important.
Absolutely.
This is a board that's cohesive, that's there for the island. Every single person on that board, without exception, it has a positive attitude and really looks to the future to make this place better.
They're always looking forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I thank you for coming on and giving us a little
Thank you
update.
for having me.
We know how to go. If you want to learn how to communicate, get information, please contact Arlene, and she will make sure you get all the information you need. And have a good day. I'll be right back. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I hope you got a little insight into what goes on with our city, with the city manager, and communication with Arlene. Just a very brief update, because there's really not a lot to talk about at the moment. We know the Bedell courts, as you've seen as you come by the cafe, will be opening up. Probably this will air next week, and next week is when we intend to open the Bedell courts, and they look terrific. The new sports court has opened, and it's interesting because we thought the kids would be out there, but mostly adults are on the basketball court and the kids are on the soccer court. So that is now open and people are enjoying it. In terms of the new spa and the restaurant, we will, as we said, be doing the grill, redoing it, updating it, adding a sushi bar to it, enlarging the bar, and really making it some major changes to accommodate the needs of the island. And that will take place over the summer of this year. We are still looking into what we're going to do with the spa in terms of whether it's a new building, whether it's renovating what we have, whether it's doing a combination of both. We should have some answers in the next 60 to 90 days, and then we'll be having some meetings on the island, board meetings on the island, and some workshops for the island residents to get into it, have their input, have their thoughts about it. And that will be a late 27 project. So that will not be happening right away because we still need a few months to get into the architectural, the design phase, and also the cost of it all. And as we've always promised you, all of the things that we'll be doing will not be needing an assessment. We are making provisions through our budgeting and through our reserves and being very, very careful about how we spend, that we will have the money to do these projects without assessing our island residents. So that's a little bit of what's going on. We are contemplating additional security for the island, and at the next board meeting, we will have a security company make a presentation as to what that entails. And we felt that not because we have any issues on the island, nor have we had any threats, but there's nothing wrong with being proactive about security, especially with so many new young kids, families, children running around, and just the general population. It's better to be safe and be proactive than have to deal with something after the fact. So please come to the next board meeting. It's the fourth Thursday of every month. In this case, it's going to be in 2 weeks from this week, from yesterday. And we look forward to it. If you have any questions or if you want to be on the show, if you'd like to be interviewed, if you have something you'd like to discuss with us, or if you have any issues that you want me to talk about or answer, please get a hold of Arlene. And I thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show this afternoon, and we look forward to next week. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.